Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for attending our informal presentation on Water Walk, a company that is seeking to bridge the great divides between lands. I just want to ask everybody, how are you guys feeling today? Are you feeling safe? Because presumably you're on hard land and you feel as though you won't be cast away anywhere dangerous. Well, my partner Victor and I came up with a very realistic and innovative idea. Our product serves multiple purposes, but to put it under one umbrella, our product solves the issue of humans being in danger while in open water. Now, I'd like to talk about the 5 most dangerous things that can cause someone to lose their life if they are in open water. So, limited visibility, which is but not limited to water in lakes and ponds, can be murky, hiding hazards such as rocks, logs, and many other uneven surfaces. Limited visibility can also make it difficult to see if a child falls in. If lifeguards are present, ask about the safest area to swim. When entering unfamiliar water, go in feet first and wade out slowly. So, the second most dangerous thing about deep waters, or about open waters: depth, distance, and drop-offs. Unlike a pool, open water rarely has depth markings, making it difficult to know if kids or other types of adults are getting into water that is over their heads. When swimming in open water, it can also be hard to perceive distance from the shore. Additionally, while there may be a gradual slope as you enter the water near shore, there might be a sudden drop-off further out. When looking for a safe place to swim, choose a designated swimming area and check for signs and warnings about potential hazards. Currents and tides. This is definitely more relevant to when you get further out from the coast, maybe a mile, 3 miles out from the coast. Currents in rivers, creeks, and streams can be fast-moving and unpredictable. While some strong currents, such as rapids, are visible, others can flow under the water's surface. In oceans or lakes, waves and rip currents can be dangerous. Families should avoid swimming at unsupervised beaches or in unsupervised areas of large water. Before allowing kids to swim in open water, make sure they know how to deal with crashing waves and how to escape a riptide or strong current. Water temperature. Open water is usually colder than water in a pool, which can affect a child's swimming ability. What's more, falling into cold water can result in shock or trauma, which can lead to panic and drowning under severe circumstances. When participating in boating or other recreational water activities, families should remember to dress for the water temperature rather than the air temperature, key right there, and to always wear a U.S. Coast Guard approved life vest. Weather and seasonal differences. Now, last but not least, changes in the weather can make open water more hazardous. Heavy rains and flooding can create strong currents and rapidly change the depth and clarity of the water. Families should also be aware of man-made storm channels and reservoirs that can be empty 1 minute and full of water the next. If you are planning an outing that involves open water, check the weather and water conditions before you leave home and again when you arrive. Stay alert for changes while you are on site, and always stay out of the water if you hear thunder or if you witness any lightning. Now, we've all been out on open water, so we know that there's no chance that us humans will ever stop venturing off into open waters to travel, for transportation purposes, for economical purposes, and for military defense purposes. So we know that we are going to spend a vast majority of our existence in open waters, and it's also important to note that open waters cover more than half of the globe's surface. So our customers include but are not limited to the U.S. Naval Coast Guard Forces, water sport companies, shipping companies, and other organizations that spend a lot of time in large bodies of water. The relationships we expect to have with our customers is one of trust and faith. They know that they can have peace of mind because they have a plan A, B, and C for any potentially life-threatening instances. We will get our product to customers through fragile order shipping containers. This means that the integrity of the inflatable device will not be compromised during its travel to the client and its equipment to the client's structure. Key activities needed to launch our product will be working with an architectural team to build the material, It will have to be made of buoyant material and include handlebars and non-slip footing placements. Also, we will need a large, hard-working marketing team to reach out to as many people and organizations who fit the criteria of being a possibly in-need client. Lastly, we will need venture capitalists, either individuals or firms, to help us realize the vision of our product at scale and to help cover any upfront costs, which can be extremely high. We will develop key partnerships with governments and armed forces and other reputable constantly at sea companies and cruise lines. It is important to remember that this can be used to help rescue people who are caught in an immense amount of floodwaters as well. So it's not just limited to open water, but where open water may eventually reside. With sea levels rising annually, this can become more relevant around coastal cities and other flood-prone areas around rivers and large lakes. The U.S. Naval Forces and other allied forces can use these on their boats in case of random emergencies. The bridge as a whole should be made of extremely lightweight and flexible material so that even airplanes can store one in the cargo hold location should it ever become necessary. Think back to the situation where the plane had to land in the Hudson River, and this could have been effective in that situation. Lastly, the entirety of the product will be covered with handles for impact bracing and extra non-slip material so that people can easily find and maintain their footing during high-tensity situations. Estimated costs for the product are around $25,000 per unit, with discounts on large orders, of course, and discounts for governmental and public use purposes. Although there are not many competitors making products like ours, there are plenty of water safety companies that charge thousands of dollars for lifeboats, inflatable rafts, and other similar physically built products. Our revenue will come from organizations attempting to keep their employees, customers, and family members safe from the dangers of open waters. So, if you're here at this informal meeting today, I'm sure you represent either a government agency or you represent a large corporation. Maybe it's a shipping corporation, maybe it's a recreational leisure cruise type organization. I want you to think when you leave here today, will my clients, will my fellow employees, will my fellow service members be more safe with or without an inflatable bridge? And I thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much. We will now open the floor for questions.